Good morning and welcome to another edition of Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard. Good morning, Dr. Pollard.
Hey, good morning, Donna. Good morning. How are you doing on what is just the only way to describe it is a deliciously beautiful morning here in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes, it is. It's a great morning. And we have some important things we want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into that, Dr. Pollard, because we want to share all this great information with
yes. You know, one of the purposes of Inside Oakwood, Donna, and all of our listeners know this very well. Is to expose all of the wonderful initiatives and events and occurrences that are taking place from Oakwood University. HBCUs are just a veritable breeding ground for great ideas, for ideation, for great opportunities, and for great initiatives that actually address the needs of our community. A few years ago, we founded something called the Anonymite Center for Women's Leadership. And it has been an amazing engine for providing resources and opportunity, especially in a space, as we like to say today, in a space where there is so much need. So this morning, there's two special features that are taking place out of the center, and we've got the leadership of the center here, as well as the employees and the representative of that center. And I'd like them to take a moment just to talk about one of the most exciting initiatives that Oakwood has ever had in addressing the issue of women's leadership, women's growth, women's development, women's empowerment. Dr. Prudence Pollard, Mrs. Adrienne Reid, and by the way, Mrs. Reid, congratulations on your son becoming Mr. Oakwood on yesterday. Congratulations, and we're happy for him, as well as Mrs. Oakwood. Those are wonderful accomplishments, and their platforms are going to do much to advance the mission of the institution. But Dr. Prudence, would you say a little bit about it, and then Ms. Reid, please.
Thank you so much, President Pollard. I am excited this morning. Not only am I excited about the Ammonite Museum, which if our listeners have never visited the museum, we invite you to visit the museum. The Ammonite Museum, which opened in 2016 and celebrates the heritage of the daughter of Newton Knight, the Free State of Jones. You remember the movie? Well, next to that museum is, and by the way, Mrs. Reid is a docent for that museum. So if you want to visit the museum, you just let her know. She will guide tour groups through the museum, which is located at the Eva B. Dykes Museum Library and the Clara Peterson Rock Museum. So separate museum. It provides an insight into this gun-toting educator who decided she needed to educate the children of newly freed slaves and also newly freed slaves. Well, we also have in the legacy of Miss Anonymite, the Ammonite Center for Women's Leadership. Most of what we will be doing will focus on telling the stories of women who were just as brave as Miss Anonymite. And so I am delighted by our first major project. We did have a Young Women's Luncheon a couple of years ago, and we have other activities. But what I'm excited about is that what you see behind Mrs. Adrienne Reid, that poster, and it responds to the needs of collegiate women. They told us in our Life Core research that they wanted to get more engaged, better engaged with their devotional life. And so I'm going to ask Mrs. Reid to share this exciting project, which starts on tomorrow and will conclude at the end of December. So Mrs. Reid, what is this exciting project?
I am really excited about giving our young collegiate women a voice to share their stories. This devotional will be for young collegiate women by young collegiate women. This is an initiative that you all asked for. The college, the young people said there's devotionals out there, but what is for me? Well, we are sponsoring the Anonymite Women's Leadership Center wants our college women, our young women to lead other women through this process of encouragement and motivation, and pour into them as God has poured into the writers of these devotions. So what we're going to do is we're sponsoring a webinar tomorrow, how to write devotions to bless university women. It will be tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. Now you might be wondering why at 11 o'clock? The reason is this is not only a national event, this is an international event. This webinar will be, it has been advertised to our sister universities all over the world. We are talking in Rwanda and Ghana and Nigeria, and even our wonderful sister schools in the Caribbean, or in some say Caribbean. So we have invited everyone, please you all, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time. I have to say Central because there's different time zones all over the world. And we have invited Mrs. Heather Dawn Small, who is the director of the Women's Ministries at the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, as well as Mrs. Carolyn Sutton, who is a well-known devotional editor extraordinaire. And our very own Dr. Prudence Pollard will also be presenting tomorrow morning. She has written so many devotions. So we want to give you the opportunity to tell your story and encourage and motivate people just like yourself. You can text the letters WLC, Women's Leadership Center, to 42828. So you would text the name WLC to 42828, and you can get more information. You can email at wlc@oakwood.edu, or just call extension 7245.
Thank you so much, both of you lovely ladies, for being with us today and sharing us that information. We don't want anybody to miss it, and that's what we thought it was so important to let you come on and let our listening audience know about that as well. So thank you so much. We'll be looking for that tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you very much, Donna, and the beautiful ladies on this program this morning. You are also invited. Hannah, Crosby, Danielle, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well, because you represent our university so well. Thank you again, President Pollard.
Thank you. You're certainly welcome. Thank you, everybody. And WLC 4288, right? Is that right?
Yes.
42828.
42828. Okay, WLC 42828. Get involved. This will be the first time ever an international devotional created by women of color. Wow. Unbelievable. And focused on collegiate women. What a wonderful, this is groundbreaking and historic, and we're excited about it. Another group, Donna, that continues to make history for us is our Honda All-Star team. And they are just an amazing group of scholars and academicians. We are very grateful for all that they represent. And as we now pick up what they will be doing, and what they have done, I think this is going to be really, really something. And as our women's leadership team is leaving, the Anonymite ladies, we thank you so very much for everything that you have done. Thank you. And we're excited, and I'm going to be there to support it tomorrow. Even though I'm not a collegiate lady, you still have my support, and I think that's going to be important.
All right, now, the Honda. Let's get to that because
Honda team, yes. So Honda team, we are so excited about you and about the work that you are doing, and about the victories and all of that. So let's talk about that. We've got Dr. Rennae Elliott. Wow, she's like the guru of Honda All-Star Championship leadership. She's just like the guru. Dr. Elliott, you've done this now for 20 plus years. How many did I don't want to guess to.
24 maybe, I'm never sure.
Wow. But thank you so very much. I marvel at your dedication. I recall when I first came in, we talked about the kind of equipment that you would need. As I recall, we talked about the kind of equipment so that our students could get practice at what did you call it? It was like buzzer hand speed or something. What was it? Well, yeah, it was like Dr. LaiHing. It was like a workout, right? Like they had to get that buzzer hand speed. Oh man, it was a wonderful one, just wonderful, and to watch how you've grown and continue to win and bring honor to the university, to each of our young people, Crosby, Grayson, Mejia, to Danielle, Honore. I hate to embarrass students whose dads are pastors, but I did speak to your dad yesterday. So David Reid, it's just a blessing, and of course Hannah Browning. We don't want to leave out Hannah. So let's get right at it and talk about it. And our faculty reps are here. Donna.
Yeah, Dr. Elliott, can you first of all tell us? Many people may not even know what the Honda Campus All-Star Challenge is. Can you just open that up for us and help us understand what it is?
Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, or HCASC, is the nation's first academic quiz bowl for historically Black colleges and universities. So it's open to every 4-year degree granting HBCU, and I think there are about 91 on the list now.
Wow, wow. And so tell me how this actually, is it like Jeopardy? I mean, what help us envision.
In a sense, it's like Jeopardy. It's also like Bible Bowl or Jeopardy on teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Bible Bowl, in that it's a team, they're all answering questions, but these questions could be about any subject in life.
Oh, wow.
Everything's fair game.
Yeah, so you have to really be well versed and well educated and read up on different topics, because you never know what the topics are. Is that right?
Definitely.
So how many years has Oakwood University had a team and been a participant of this challenge?
The HCASC program, go ahead, Stephen.
1991.
89.
89, 90, yeah.
Yeah.
So
wow.
They've been since nearly the beginning, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and how large was the group then, and how does it look today?
So
I think Dr. Okay, I was
go ahead.
I was going to ask Dr. LaiHing to
from looking back at the history, it was actually the team was a little bit larger than our current group. Back then, there was between 4 and 7 listed players. And so they've pared it down now. We travel normally with 4 players, 4 to 5 players at the most.
Okay. Wow. So did we have one last year because of COVID-19? I'm just wondering. There was no, didn't happen. How did that? So COVID-19 came in and impacted this challenge as well. So Honda didn't even sponsor it. Is that how that happened?
So what happened last year, and this is sponsored by the Honda Corporation, and they do some amazing things. Last year, because we didn't have the national tournament, what Honda did was to send monies to each of the participating schools that we were then able to donate to local nonprofit organizations. So they pour money into us and to the students, but also into the communities. So they just do an awesome job.
Wow, wow. Okay, so we have our students here, and we want to talk to them now and find out why they decided to be a part of this team for Oakwood University. Let's start out with Miss Hannah Browning.
Okay. Well, so I'm a freshman, and this is my first year on the Honda team. I remember I ended up joining because Dr. Elliott invited me to a practice when she heard that I liked Jeopardy and other trivia game shows. So the reason I decided to join was because it's really something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I can add to, like, besides my studies, something else that I enjoy outside of my area of study. And so it's really fun, and it's work, but I enjoy it. So.
No, thank you. Now, Danielle Honore is the captain of this year's team, right? Or have you been captain before?
I am captain this year. Technically, I was, going to be captain last year until there was no tournament.
Right.
But yeah.
So why did you get involved in this, and what type of background and what's in your background that really nurtured you to be interested in this?
Well, it's funny. Dr. Elliott did mention Bible Bowl. I have been playing, I suppose, since maybe 7 years old. So just being on that kind of team has always been something fun to me. Personally, I think my dad is a big inspiration because he and I, like Jeopardy has always been our thing, sort of religiously to tune in. And so when actually in high school, I was on a quiz bowl team as well. And it's something that I've always sort of gravitated to because I'm not particularly athletic, but I'm very competitive. Wow. And I like team stuff. So this sort of, happens to be something that meshes all of my interests. And so the way I found the team in the first place, David and I were actually doing LSAMP together, which is a summer bridge program for STEM students. And so we were at Oakwood's campus in July before our freshman year. And while we were there, we were in Blake, I believe, for something. Mm-hmm. And we happened to just walk across Kanisha Bennett, who used to be on the team. And she mentioned, we were introducing ourselves and such. And I was like, I remember seeing you on Jeopardy because, again, I do watch it often. And she was like, well, you should join this team because, it's like Jeopardy and it's fun. And so she was how I ended up reaching out to Dr. Elliott in the first place at the beginning of freshman year. And now here we are.
Wow, what a great story. So let's hear from David, Reid, and Crosby as well, and Grayson. Let me not mess up your name, Grayson. Go ahead. And I wrote it down and still forget Mejia. All right, so you all are all part of the Honda team for Oakwood University. Tell us about why you decided to be a part of the team.
Well, the Honda Challenge is really something I never really pictured myself doing. I didn't think I really had what it takes to participate in a team like this or to answer the types of questions that they throw at us all the time. But when I went to practice, I kind of felt because of the community that we had on campus that regardless of whatever I came in knowing, I was going to be able to build up myself in order to compete at the level that we do compete at. And that's obviously thanks to our amazing coach, Dr. Elliott, and also the team members that I have, because we're able to work so well together, and whatever gaps of knowledge that we have, we fill in for each other, and it works really well.
Wow. Crosby.
I started my sophomore year. I was working in the communication department actually, and I took one of the quizzes and I did really well on them. But I remember my freshman year, they were kind of going around campus asking people, and my freshman year, I didn't really want to get involved in a lot of activities, which I guess was the opposite of freshman. I just wanted to, learn the campus in terms of like friends and like school. So I didn't participate my freshman year, but sophomore year was like one of my best times because of Honda. And junior year was too until the pandemic hit, because we were amazing. We did get to compete for one competition before the pandemic, and it was awesome. And seeing them this year competing and working together, it's amazing how they've been able to elevate their team.
Wow. Grayson, let's hear from you.
I've been here at Oakwood for a while. I'm actually the oldest on the team, but I took a couple of years off. So way back in my freshman year, which was in I think it was in spring 2016, if I'm not mistaken, a young lady and now Oakwood and Honda alum by the name of Natalie Barrett. She saw that I had a lot of potential in me. I don't really know what happened. I guess we had a class together, and then I guess we were talking, and then she said, all right, you have to come with me to, there was an on-campus event going on at the time. I think it was the National Qualifying Tournament, the NQT, as we call it. And it was being held at what is it, the Mejia, the business complex. So then I went there, and then it was on a Friday afternoon, and then I watched one of the games live, and then I was actually I was actually able to, as I was watching the game, I was able to answer like some of the questions to myself. I was like, oh, that question is easy. And then and then I saw that some people were struggling. Like, for instance, like there was an ultimate challenge they did. It was about geography. In the ultimate challenge is like the last part, the last stretch of each game that you have to answer 10 questions correctly to get up to 250 bonus points. And I saw that one of the teams did one on geography, and they missed a few, but I was answering to myself like all the questions. I would have, if I were playing, I would have gotten like all 10 of them right.
Wow.
And then Natalie, she said, "All right, Grayson, you're definitely going on the team. You're definitely joining the team this year. Let me introduce you to Dr. Elliott, and the rest is history."
That is fantastic, fantastic. But even though you all obviously came to the table with a lot to offer intellectually, it still helped you be a better student. Do you think anybody can respond to that and how it has impacted you academically? Anyone?
Personally, real quick, I am a biomedical science major. And so when we sort of all just try and specialize in a different field of study so that like combined as a team, we have a good amount of knowledge. And I instantly like flocked to science as my area of study. And I was taking chemistry at the time, general chemistry, and everything that I was doing in practice just sort of reinforced what I was learning in class. And so it was very helpful to have that kind of like supplementary exposure to what I was already doing. So yeah, it's definitely helpful.
Wow. Somebody else respond to that. How it has impacted you academically and improved or increased your GPA, whatever it could be.
Well,
for me,
oh no, go ahead, Crosby.
I was gonna say, there's like this one moment. I studied African American history, and I happened to be taking that class that year. And one of the teachers had forgotten like one of a name, and I immediately shouted out their last name because that's what we were trained to do, was to know their last names. And I was like on it. I was like, oh, I remember it was someone, but it was really funny. So there's a lot of things like, I mean, I'm political science as well, and some communication terms have like overlapped, and it's really cool seeing that and like click.
Wow, I love that. David, you want to say something?
Yeah, mostly for me, it's been like study skills that I've learned from Honda that I can apply to the rest of my courses, because it's a lot easier to, I guess, put that kind of study effort into something that I'm very interested in, like Honda, and then apply it to the rest of my studies, especially in times when it's more difficult to study for my actual classes. Having those study skills that I gained from Honda help apply to my actual courses and improve my ability to retain knowledge.
Wow. Now, Stephen LaiHing, you have an interesting story too that we got to touch on, because you went from team member to assistant coach. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I competed with the team several years ago and graduated from Oakwood, went to graduate school, and was recruited back to be a professor in the chemistry department. I was the one teaching Danielle when everything clicked. And so, and as soon as I got back, Dr. Elliott said, welcome, practice is 10 a.m. Sunday. And so I sort of got thrown back into it. But to weigh in on what David was saying, those same skills I learned as a player actually helped me in graduate school. And some of those same tactics and strategies I use even now. I don't think anyone mentioned it yet, but I wanted to make sure Dr. Elliott gets her recognition here. Under her leadership, Oakwood has won 3 national championships. And as of this year, we have been awarded in excess of $390,000 from the Honda Corporation over the team's existence.
Amen.
That's exactly where I was going. I was going to talk about how we placed this year. So we did win this year as well?
No, competition is still going on. We're in the Elite Eight. Coming up this month, we'll have our last final round of games for the championship. And so please keep us in your prayers.
Okay. Can we catch this online? Is it virtual? Can we watch it?
It is all virtual, and it is happening on this Friday. We're doing the practice scrimmage against Bowie State, and then the Elite Eight will begin on Sunday.
Wow.
And we'll play North Carolina A&T in our first match. So
all right now.
We do solicit prayers.
Yes, but it sounds like you have a great team here, and we're not even worried. It's going to be all right. Dr. Pollard.
Well, thank you. Congratulations, of course, to Dr. Elliott for her outstanding leadership.
Yes.
And congratulations to all of our student participants who have done so very well. When we were doing them in person, I had the opportunity to attend a number just as a supporter. And I remember one day we were kind of like in the final, I guess, playoffs or runoff or whatever it was. And I was sitting in the audience and the last category came up or something. It was like the Bible. And I heard all the people say, "Oh, that's Oakwood." It was fascinating. They say Oakwood's going to clean this up. And of course, thank God we did. So we're grateful for that. Again, every one of our students, congratulations to you. Thank you for taking this on. And these are the kinds of experiences in an HBCU that will leave an inerasable impression. You will carry this with you the rest of, as Dr. LaiHing has noted, you will carry this with you the rest of your lives, these experiences. And thank you, Dr. Elliott, for being such a wonderful coach, mentor, nurturer, supporter, cheerleader, chastiser. I've seen her do all of that to keep the team on pace and functioning at optimal capacity. So we're very grateful for that. So that's it. And Friday, the Elite Eight. And what time again did you say, Dr. Elliott? What time was it? Times will be announced.
You're muted. There you go.
Yes, times will be announced on Friday. The scrimmage practice round should begin at 9, but
okay. But we'll get the information. We'll get the information and let everyone know. Okay. So thank you everybody from all of us to all of you. Congratulations, and again, we wish you every success as you represent your institution. And in our book, you're already winners. You're already winners already. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, all of you, for being with us today for Inside Oakwood and listening online and wherever you are around the world. Join us again on Thursday for another edition of Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard.